see, is this gonna do it? Now I'm telling you, okay. I mean, it's fine and all. I understand your feelings towards me, and that's great. Just kind of tone it down a little bit, okay? Because I do have a girlfriend, Clownie, and I mean, I just can't have you coming on to me, especially live in front of everybody like this. I mean, I know I'm an attractive man, and I know it's difficult for. Oh, wait a minute! Hi, we're actually live right now.
I was so hoping with the threesome with you and Boom Tendo because you look such alike.
Yeah, he didn't sleep on my floor at Ragna.
Where's the Nerf dart?
Oh, hey, we have Gotcha Girl in here. Hi, nice to see you, Gotcha Girl. I'm here with my good friend Clownie Nerf.
Woo! Gonna put makeup on, but I really couldn't find it. I don't know what I did with it. So it's really actually a shame because it's a very big box. It means like I lost like something the size of a boot box.
Oh wow, man. I lose like everything. Don't worry about it. I lose so much around here. Yeah, I don't know. It's like every time I start rummaging through my crap, I find something I thought I lost like 2 years prior.
That's what we all do. Like, oh, look, here's a stock.
Oh, wow. Gotcha Girl said, I'm a huge fan, you guys. You deserve like 100 million subs. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much.
That'd be great. I could get back into the YouTube partnership thing.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Hey, Uniquely Jacqueline. Uniquely Jacqueline. I love your intro on your videos. You know, that gets stuck in my head like all night. Austin, what's up? Greg's Gaming. What is shaking, my dude? Good to see you all. Thanks for stopping by. I'm continuing the interview series that I have been doing. I started my interview series about 3 weeks to a month ago. It started with my friend Boom Tendo. And then I interviewed Nate, Nerf and Nate. After that, I interviewed Homely665. And then after that, it was Rob's Mods and Reviews. And today, I have the very good fortune to interview someone named Clownie Nerf. If you're in the hobby, you know who he is. If you're not in the hobby, which some of my subscribers are not, he is actually a pretty well-known figure in this hobby. He does some amazing work with modifying these Nerf blasters, integrating them in different ways. And he's a fantastic artist. He makes a lot of really cool pictures and paints and I mean, he's a really creative and a really nice dude. And he has a wicked sense of humor, and it's kind of an inappropriate sense of humor as well. So you might want to put the kids to bed, everybody. But say something, Clownie.
I was just going to sit here for a minute and make you think it's stalled, but then my phone completely ruined that. So we're going to have to put this on silent. Thank you, OC Nerf, for killing that joke. Much appreciated.
Oh man, you should have put your hand over the lens or something, just to make it look like you went black. Oh man, buy a Clownie blaster. I totally would, you know, if I had money. Levi.
They're actually quite because I'm very poor as well.
Oh,
so
man.
I do everything in a
bucket. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man. I just had to make my own custom eye protection. Yeah. How you like it? Woo!
Oh, that's freaking cool, man.
Yeah, it took a lot longer to make these than I would like to admit, just poking holes through stickers. Oh, dude.
You just find Google Eyes with a clear background. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Turn, be like, hey, eyes are going everywhere.
So, like, if you guys already have been to one of these sessions before, my little conversations with people inside of this hobby, you know that you could ask questions in the chat and we will answer them. You could tell us, you could give us compliments, which we really enjoy. So you could give us all the compliments you want. Hey, happy birthday, Greg. I'm glad you're here on your birthday celebrating. I'm glad to celebrate with you.
Oh, let's see. Greg. No, I don't know that, Greg. It's time to celebrate your birthday. It happens every year. Eat a lot of broccoli and drink a lot of beer. You should be good and happy. There's something you can eat. Every day, a million people starving in the street. There's gutties in the picture with the pressure in the pour. Your mother's in the kitchen with the candlestick for. The poison in the water, rose in the sky. Walking along, we're all gonna die. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you, my favorite. My favorite Weird Al song. One of my favorite Weird Al songs. Happy birthday. Either that or the one from Metalocalypse, and I don't know that, but that was the first episode that I ever saw. So Dr. Rockshow is king in my book.
Oh, yeah. Metalocalypse. I do
cocaine. Oh, it's a balloon. Definitely not David Lee Roth.
Yeah, really, right? Hey, OC, that's really cool of you, man. Clownie is one of your favorite people. That's awesome, man. I'm glad I could bring him on here for you, you know? All right, so I'll just jump right into things here. And remember to leave a like. Guys, like the smash button. Remember to like the smash button. So first question I have for you, Unky Clownie, is how did you get your name?
I would actually like to say it was like something like that. There's a lot of like nicknames and stuff follow you wherever you go. Originally, it was Stumpy. That's one that kind of follows me everywhere I go because I'm short. But my buddy Brant likes to give people nicknames. His particularly is Mantis because of a ride that he rode that scared the crap out of him. But yeah, didn't like that roller coaster apparently.
That's a badass nickname, though, Mantis. I dig that, man. That's killer.
I found out that he literally crapped his pants riding a roller coaster called Mantis.
You should have called him like Crappy or something.
He gave it to me, and I thought it was because I'm funny, funny, quick-witted, and stuff like that. Until he told me that I reminded him of the Violator.
Oh.
So any good nickname is something that you hate, and I like the Violator, but I didn't like I didn't like being like I hated the fact that
you don't want to be like told you look like it, you know.
Not really, because John Leguizamo did a really good job portraying that little clown, but
he did a great job.
It stuck pretty quick, so it kind of stuck around nice and even for me, which was good.
Yeah. I can see that.
The Nerf Haven and stuff like that. If anybody even knows what a Nerf Haven is nowadays,
yeah,
that's my sign on and just became a stick in. Which is actually really funny because I don't like at home with my family, and then like at work or the only place I go by my slave name. So it's all Clownie everywhere else.
Yeah. I didn't even know your real name until you messaged me today, honestly, man.
Nobody ever does.
Uncle Stumpy.
Doesn't have the same kind of ring. Like Uncle Stumpy is probably also Uncle Toothless and like Uncle Budweiser at the same time. He's like your uncle that shows up and gives you fireworks. Probably showed up in one of the like an El Ranchero or something like that. He just pulls up in an El Camino with the shirt like this shirt like half open and some rolled up Marlboros sitting there.
Yeah, with holding a 6-pack with like 3 gone.
Your parents let him in the house because he's family, but nobody really lets him alone by himself because like your toilet paper goes missing.
He brings you pre-scratched lottery tickets for your birthday.
Exactly. Happy birthday.
Hey, look, it's Big Cousin Steve. He's up in the chat. Steve. Yeah, Clownie is a true champion. That is right, man. He is. Everybody, Big Cousin Steve, he's a good dude. He's another person I follow in this hobby. And remember, because like we do,
you have pants on.
Well, that makes one of us. There's a reason why I have the camera only going from this far up. You know what I mean? I got nothing on under there.
Well, Some of these rooms, man.
Oh, Nightshade, do me a favor, send me goat. I send you goat back, okay?
Goat mail.
I will send you Bob's and Virginia if you wave to me and give me subscribe.
Give me goat.
Hey, Donnell, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. We're here with Clownie Nerf. If you have questions for the Clownie man, make sure you put them in the chat and we will get to them as soon as possible. Now, here's my next question here for you, Clownie. When did you get into the hobby?
I got into the hobby about 5 or 7 years ago. It was about the time, and nobody watching this, some people might actually know a kid by the name of UN13 or UNI13. I picked up about the time the Mavericks, Midnight Mavericks, mind you, came out to keep my cat away from my lizards because I didn't want him to knock the heat lamp over because he kept messing with them. Well, after the cat learned that the Nerf gun noise was a bad idea, I started shooting my television set because that's what sucker darts were made for, shooting soap operas.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm an adult. That's what you do with it, right?
Right.
So, in the 80s, shoot your TV. You can't do that now, and that's why we don't have sucker darts anymore. So I got into about doing that, and I watched this kid that was like less than half my age, like take apart a Maverick. So I immediately did so and broke it. And pretty much it. I didn't start doing videos until after my first war when my buddy Griever, like Insta-friend, was like, oh, you should do videos. And like for a year or two, he bugged me. And I got a camera for Christmas, and I'm like, well, I'm out of excuses now. So I made one.
So how long you been on YouTube then?
About 2 or 3 years. I think it's 3 years. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to double check to make sure. I can't remember what blasters were. It'd be easy to remember what blasters were popular back then, but I don't particularly know because Nerf was still growing as to coming out what it was. Like barricades were still in stores, or recons were a big, like long shots were just hitting the shelves. So, God, it'd be at least 3 years ago, man. Easy.
Yeah, well, I think when I first started getting blasters, it was like in 2008, I think, or 9, and I got a Maverick, and me and my buddy Mars, who does music and everything, like we just got him for like the studio and like shooting each other and shooting his son and everything. But I never got into modding. I didn't even know that was a thing until this year. Shoot, I wish I kept all my blasters now. I just gave them away.
I didn't have a lot of Nerf growing up. I owned a crossbow. Not a crossbow, a slingshot. My Uncle Gary gave me a slingshot. It was like part of my cool Uncle Gary gave us, me and my brother each a slingshot. We immediately had a hard time keeping the balls because it was winter and they were rolling down the icy hills at my grandmother's house. Like the thing only shoots like 1.5 feet. I still managed to hit my brother in the eye with it somehow, which that's like, and like as a kid, like the only blaster I ever really owned was one of these. Oh, there goes that dart. It was one of these things that make you cringe because they're 80s.
Yeah.
There's a safety on it for a reason. Because it's actually really, if it shoots, oh my God, don't tell me I finally broke it. Ow. Yeah. It makes that with a real sucker dart sound. I'm actually trying to get more ammo so I can actually run it at a war one of these days.
That's all I had when I was, because I grew up in the 80s, dude. And like, I don't think there was a Nerf blasters even out until I was already like in high school. So that's
the pinnacle of blaster dart technology in the 80s was the vacuum form molded orange plastic dart. The rubbery kind of thing that had the little slot in the side of it that like didn't really stick to anything. It didn't fit worth a damn, but as soon as you lost one, there was no way to get any more of them unless you bought the blaster again.
Yeah, I've seen those, man.
like good luck getting your parents to take you back down to like the drugstore where they sold them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where they sold them at, the drugstores. They weren't even in the toy stores.
Yeah, KB's had them, like that was it.
Oh,
like, yeah, there's a date.
So when did you? So you actually started modding a little bit at, you know? So wait, did you start collecting before you started modding, or did you kind of start all at the same time?
Hoarding. Oh, hoarding, you mean?
Hoarding, yeah, hoarding.
Hoarding.
You can see my room. You can see my room here. I'm a hoarder as well, brother.
I don't really know when it started. Like, I got like a Maverick, and then like a long shot came out and it showed up, and I had to buy a Vulcan the day they came out, which was like $65 of a mistake, maybe. I'm not entirely sure yet. Geez. I remember the Vulcan coming. The Vulcan, I have to say, was when it really started, because then I got a Recon after that and tried to modify it. It's kind of hard to put a date when you start really getting your big piles of hordes together, because it just kind of clicks in and starts showing up. And then you turn around and you have like a 100-gallon tote full and a pile of blasters laying on top of it that you don't quite know what to deal with. I'd have to say I probably really started getting them when I started YouTubing, because you have to, like, in the beginning when you start YouTubing, one of the best ways to get it is to pound out reviews. And you can't do that if you don't have the new stuff. So as soon as they drop the AccuStrike stuff, you go out and buy all that. They drop new blasters, you go out and buy all that. You end up with a pile of stuff you don't ever use. So it's I'd have to say that's probably about the time that I started YouTubing, is when it started becoming out of control.
See, that's why I never started doing reviews, because of you guys who have been here before, and you guys, start out with reviewing like all the blasters you own, and then now I have a bunch that have been reviewed for time and time again for years, and it's like I'm never gonna make a review on these that are better than what's already out there. So I just review gear, and cheap stuff.
Reviews get views. That's what they say. And I started doing things like shopping over Wish and stuff like that to find some broken ones, and you learn a hard lesson doing that. One, pictures are not exactly built to scale sometimes when they show the kids playing with them on Wish. And, like, if you get something and you think you don't need to get a review on it, get it out, get it done.
Yeah.
I got sniped by Bolo and
Big Cousin Steve just said, I have no shame in reviewing and making a video on a blaster I haven't bought.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the subjector videos. They kind of make me nuts. But I know there's a couple of people that I take on their like suggestions or like their observations of them, because they probably know exactly what the blaster's going to do inside already, because they have inline connections to that. And we probably all know who the hell I'm talking about, but I'm not going to. Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Since you've been doing this, a few years and everything, what's your favorite blaster?
Well, Nerf, I probably have to go with probably the Maverick. God knows I love me a Maverick. I got a huge pile of them. I have to remember to ask Brando Nerf how many he's got, because he's got a full collection of them. I'm still missing a couple of them. I want to see who can out Maverick a bunch of them. I have a real soft spot for the Busby, the Busby shotguns, the side by sides and the over unders. I remember buying one of those from Kmart when I went shopping with my neighbors. They were out for something. I decided I was going to swing over because I had a Maverick at the time, and I saw the side by side, and I put it down. And I looked at it again, and I started squealing like a little child, because I realized that when you break it, the shells eject out of it.
So, yeah.
I literally just walked around my apartment for like a week, just breaking it open and shooting the shells out and like doing bad Ashley Williams lines, pointing at my mirror.
That's awesome, dude.
I'd like to say that's a story, but it's like I practice fast draws in front of my mirror, and then I eventually forget that I'm practicing fast draws and start talking Dirty Harry at my reflection.
It's kind, when you get a blaster that you're really feeling and it looks really awesome, it's kind of hard not to go in the mirror and actually start quoting movie lines and everything. It's difficult to not do that.
It's so difficult, especially like when you're like running with a rough cut in CQB, like and you're like you feel like a badass because you got this little shotgun and you're just leveling people left and right in CQB with a rough cut. You feel amazing, and then you eventually go click and you realize everything just went bad because you're suddenly out of darts. That's right. Finite supply.
So those are your favorite blasters. What would you say is your least favorite?
Oh, that's easy. I got a lot of those. Pretty much anything from the AccuStrike line. They could have really tried harder. I don't like them on many reasons. One, the Raptor Strike is a really expensive way to get a fancy pop-up sight. The Alpha Hawk or whatever it was isn't bad, but it's 5 shots. We know we can make 6. I'd like to see somebody make a expanded cylinder for that. Would be great. I've seen some things in Thingiverse, but the Thingiverse ones don't work well. The pistol's pretty good, but it's hard to screw up a single shot pistol. But people have done that.
Well, the pistols, I heard like the pistols have like a lot, like they have the plastic catches, like instead of springs, they use just plastic pieces on the triggers and everything, and they tend to break.
Speaking of that, one of my least favorite of all is probably the Dual Strike. By pieces, the blaster is amazing. It's got a huge plunger tube. It's got 2 different types of ammo. I found uses for the AR assemblies on both of them. The handle is okay. The shell's a boat oar. It gets amazing power out of it, but it's in such an ugly package, and there's so many holes in it, and the plumbing's all over. I would say it's the equivalent of a Springer of trying to rewire a Nitron, which if anybody's opened that thing up, that thing is literally spaghetti inside. There is so much excessive wiring that I just closed it up, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
I've actually had that happen at some of the blasters we have at the church for Nerf night. I was opening up some of them just to see if I wanted to, was going to try to fix them. And I was like, dude, no way. I think it was a Nitron too, man.
Yeah, you pop that back open, you just throw those wires. It's like, no, I'm done with this. There's no extra space. It's all crammed in there tight. I got to give Hasbro that. They used up every little bit of expensive plastic space that they charge us for that thing. And anybody that manages to make a boom Nitron out of one, more power to you, because that thing is the devil inside.
Let's see. What's some of your favorite mods that you've done? Like some of your favorites you got.
I've always liked my my over-unders. They're quick and easy. I just glue the shells back in. They're fun. My Assault Maverick, which is nothing more than a Maverick with a long strike stock on it and a ultimate missile blast underneath, which is a C-shaped thing by Busby. It's literally a clamp looking thing, and it shoots a missile. I always have fun with my Mega Rough Cut. I love that. That thing's blast.
Oh yeah, that one is. I like that one. I like that one better than the what is it, the one that they actually made. The Mega.
I wanted to hate that. I wanted to hate that so badly, and it's actually not bad. I was surprised at how much I actually liked it, and I hated myself for that because I had to admit it.
I know Adriana from Foam Blast really likes it too, and my friend Katrina came to Nerf Night rocking one of those before as well. So I think they're pretty fun to use. You know, I don't know. I just like your rough cut the way it looks. You know, now it has the mega.
I wreck people in QB with that. I tried to use it in open field, but it comes out so level that everybody just kind of goes and goalposts it. You can literally walk between them. It's really disappointing. But in CQB, you just level people with it.
Nice.
I'd have, and I don't know, like my XBZs that I make are fun.
Let's see one of them. Now, pop them out. Let's see one.
These are always fun to do. It's the OG one where I hid the pump is hidden inside the handle.
Oh yeah, that's smart, dude.
Go like this, and then they're all, because I'm fat and slow. I go with single shots, and they're all breached that way. The Harkonnen, like big ass one's the same way. That thing's like as tall as me, and the new version of it, spoilers, is going to be that. My latest favorite, though, currently, is probably what drew, actually surprised I haven't reached, a lot of attention to me was the, this guy.
Oh, yeah, man. That looks the sledge fire. What? That is dope.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun to build, but it's absolutely miserable to use at wars. You can't load it fast. It doesn't work very well because it's stock springs. It's all dependent on 3-stage ARs, and God knows I really hate AR stage systems. But yeah, it seems to be whatever I'm currently building ends up being my absolute favorite at the time. Until you go to war, and then it's things like my pirate pistol and my Panther.
So what are some of your least favorite mods that you've done?
Least favorite mods. Let's see.
And do you have any around that you could kind of show?
Hot shot. I tried to brass breach one of those mega jolts. That failed miserably. Back before the 3-shot AR existed in the Rebel line, people were taking triads and cutting them the fronts off on those and putting them on night finders and that. I completely blew an AR assembly of that further than the darts went. It literally impacted and sent it skittering across the floor, and the darts landed behind me. I don't know if the physics of that actually worked, but that was really bad. God, it's hard to think of because a lot of your failures get scrapped.
Yeah,
I'd probably have to say the least favorite was my Iron Man Super Soaker mod. It was the one that you put ice cubes in. And that thing has an immense amount of power, but it has a tiny little hook where you can whip your trigger to, and it's literally sitting over there just mocking me forever. It never worked properly because the bar to try to get the trigger to link is near impossible. And it doesn't work. You can shoot it by going like this, but it's a dump then, and there's no point using 2 hands on it.
Austin wanted me to mention the Scroto Fury.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Austin? I completely took that thing out of my mind. I appreciate you bringing up that miserable blaster that caused me to rage out and ice pick that thing and ruin one of my best Nerf screwdrivers. Yeah, Austin is absolutely right. The Nerf, my Scroto Fury was the worst, because even after I got to making it with the same performance package that's involved in the other blasters I used it in, it still just doesn't meet the ranges and the problems that it has, because it's still like I can get a better rate of fire using the single breach ones with the same power package as a rotating turret. And mind you, that's all preloaded too. And the ranges are better, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And by the way, that actually sold. Daniel Phelps from the uh, uh, Southern Maryland House of Nerf. Those
Nice.
guys, he bought it, and it fell well within the ranges of what they use, which was sad because the Harkonnen, it falls into the 125, 130 range, and the Harkonnen has the same power package, and it gets above 300. So that's why it was such a disappointment. But you guys if you guys are ever up on the internet for any reason other than watching me and broke nerfing here, you should go check out Southern Maryland House of Nerf Facebook page. Those guys built their house, built their nerfing stuff up from their back lawn, and now rent a field. Yes, the only downside that I found is yes, it is pay to play with them, but they roll all the money that they make, which is usually absolutely none, back into field rentals and product and stuff for their fields. So they don't make a dang cent off of that. And that's if they manage to make any money because they rent a big field out for doing this. And it's not cheap.
Yeah. I'll make sure to put the link in the description after we're done here, man.
I would appreciate that. Those guys built themselves up with almost no YouTube presence or help from anybody. So they literally pulled themselves out by the bootstraps.
I've noticed that a lot. There's a lot of people that I've seen on social media that have no presence on YouTube, or they have channels on YouTube that get like zero attention, and it just blows my mind how there's such awesome stuff out there that isn't getting any recognition, you know?
Yeah. That's actually a big sticking point with me with a lot of guys. It's still everybody wants a strife that's built by the big guys and stuff like that, but people like Nerfenstein, Spencer Davis of Landgrave Customs, Exile, these guys pretty much, and Heavy Starch, they make amazingly painted blasters. They're beautiful and gorgeous, and they're just now starting to get the attention that they get because of people like Mr. Nathan, which don't take this as a shot towards Mr. Nathan. I love the guy. He's a great guy. Like, he was standing behind my booth and stuff at End War, and I was freaking out because he's just sitting there very quietly looking at my stuff. And all I could think of is he's judging me. He's judging me. He sees every flaw, you know?
Yeah.
And he wanted to look at one of my things. I felt like I was handing a refrigerator picture to Bob Ross. You know, here's my coupon work, Mr. Ross. Please don't crush my little soul.
He actually showed up to the mod party that I was hosting over there at the place at the church we do Nerf night, and he came in. He's such a nice dude. Him and his wife, they came by there. He's so nice. Him and his wife, they're just such a delight. They came in and they kind of sat off to the side by themselves, and we're just kind of talking, and I just walk up to him and I was like, "Hey, Mr. Nathan," and I came up to introduce myself, and he said, "Hey, you're Broke Nerfy," and I was like, "Yeah, wow," I couldn't believe he even knew who I was. Because he's never been to my streams that I know of or commented on my channel or anything. So I was kind of surprised.
He lives his Nerf channel outside of all this stuff.
Yeah,
which is really, I think everybody should really do.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
Yeah,
Politics will kill you.
Such a nice dude, man. Such a nice man. But yeah, he's on his way to Disneyland, or he's in Disneyland for the anniversary. So hope they're having a good time. But Tisha Key is joined us now. Tisha, thank you for stopping by. I love you. She's my girlfriend.
Wow.
RZ Roger and Empire are here as well. So thank you all for coming by. Appreciate it. If you have any questions for Uncle Clownie here, go ahead and leave them in the chat.
You're with Uncle Clownie and Broken
Nerf. He's also the founder of the Leslie Nielsen fan club.
That dude's great. I saw a movie with him when I was a kid, and I was so waiting for him to do something funny, and then he sat on a bunch of steps and started crying. And I was like, "Why is Leslie Nielsen crying?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's right." My dad's like, "Oh, you do know he started off as a serious actor."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I didn't remember that. And then like a couple of weeks later, Forbidden Planet was on, and I was like, oh, it's Leslie Nielsen. I'm like, holy crap, he's in his 20s. That movie was cool. You guys ever get a chance to see Forbidden Planet, watch it. It's an old sci-fi movie, 70s, hypercolor stuff. The movie was made by Warner, and animated by Disney people. They had to truck them in to make them work there, because if they got, and they appeared uncredited, because if they got busted, Disney would have beat them down.
Oh shit! I didn't even know. I've known Forbidden Planet. It's a great film, but I didn't know the story behind it.
Yeah, that creature was animated by Disney animators and Disney technology. The Warner Brothers had no idea how to get that on there like that, to do it though it was, and they paid guys from Disney a ton of money to come over and do it.
Wow.
They appear uncredited, and there's not much to it with the monster stuff in that, because back then everything was a complete trade secret, and the studios owned you, more or less. And if you don't believe me, look up the story on the Stooges and look up the story on my hero, W.C. Fields.
I actually believe you, man. Nerf Turf Battle just showed up. Thank you for joining us, Nerf Turf Battle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I usually know a lot of this stuff, like crazy little tidbits about movies and such, you know. So it's kind of cool that someone else is teaching me something.
Dude, I watch so much Discovery History Channel and stuff like that, and all this weird information. I can't add 2 and 2, but I can tell you everything about conversation. The downside is I seem like a smart guy until you make me play Trivial Pursuit, and I'm just literally just walking around the circle with nothing.
All right, so let's get back into some of these questions here before we trail off too much talking about Leslie Nielsen and movies.
Every conversation with me is a multiple conversation.
I know. That's why I think it's a bad idea to get us both together if we're trying to stick to an agenda.
I got a hat for you.
Hey, RZ Rider asked you if you're in Nerf Modders Welcome, I believe the Facebook group.
Yes, I am in Nerf Modders Welcome. I am not a person of... I don't have god powers there or anything. I just post in. I literally just poke around the Nerf things and look at them, because if I'm there for more than 5 minutes, somebody beating some poor kid down over asking what spring they should use irritates me. So I pretty much look for shiny pictures and keep going.
Yeah. Gotcha. I could see that, you know, like, because I'm in a lot of these Facebook groups. I'm an admin on one of them, in Eli's group. They made me an admin, which was really an honor for me, because I don't consider myself a good modder at all. You know, I'm very new at this, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it means you got some respect for the community for stuff like that off the bat. So that's really good. And you actually, I mean, you're one of the few reviewy type channels I actually watch, because reviewy stuff that doesn't do it for me, completely honestly. Like, I like weird stuff. And the energy, like Maddie Barker, and the energy you put off is amazing for this. So
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you know, I usually just do the reviews, like, when I'm interested in buying something, you know, that I'll check out the reviews for them, or if it's one of my friends that are making the video, I'll watch it, you know, and check it out. But normally I just watch reviews. I'll seek out reviews if it's something I'm interested in buying, and I usually go for like the smaller channels too, because you know, I don't know, they seem to, I don't know, the small channels, I just kind of like the way they review things better, you know. They kind of go over things that some of the bigger ones I think kind of don't take the time for.
Yeah, I agree with that. Completely agree with that.
So let's see here. What do you think is the most underrated blaster out right now?
Well,
or it could be not out right now, but that ever, maybe. Let's say ever.
I'd probably go with the Busby double shots. I use those quite a bit in a lot of wars, particularly the over-unders. In pistol combat, I can get quite a few shots off. I mean, most people use things like a modded Night Fire Strike, Now Night Finder makes me old. Night Finders, they get like the footage and the speed and stuff, but they're kind of somewhat unstable. And most people, face it, they can't shoot straight. We're not all cartel. I mean, we can't sniper people like we think we can. Like that guy can do it because he's got the skills.
Yeah, totally.
And the fact that like I am literally the broadside of a barn because I wear a bright red shirt most of the time when I play, and they can't hit me. I can walk up right in front of you and point two of those blasters and get 2 shots off, and then turn and nail 2 other people before I have to reload. I've taken more people out in pistol combat in close quarters in open fields, which is something I shouldn't be able to do because I literally have to waddle up to you to get there. You should be able to hit me. And I think some of the slower blasters like that need more love, like the Busby Tommy 20, like the Tommy 20, completely underrated. I got a mod coming up with that thing that makes it a tank.
Nice.
It just works out darts, and it's got a lot of power to it. But because it's not a strife, people don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I can see that, that's the one thing I want to see more of the well, not just third party, but more blasters that aren't Hasbro brands to get more widely made products for them, like more modding kits, and more stock adapters and things like that for them.
Yes.
Because you go on these sites and you look up, these kits for them, like aesthetic kits or the kit drop-in kits, and it's all Hasbro. It's like all of them are Hasbro items, and you don't see much for the Dart Zone or Busby or Zuru, anything like that.
I would kill for an extended switch for my Turbo Advance to switch it from high to low. That little switch is hard to hit in the heat of combat. I would kill to have somebody design a switch just like a half an inch long so I could just hit it and go. Or the monorail, an actual you can just flip it up in the back instead of trying to pull it. Because I have mine cut, so I just hit it and I flip it up. Why can't somebody make a 3D printed thing with that?
Yeah.
I know it's not a motor cover for a strife, so it's not. It's not going to make you money, but you can put it up on Thingiverse. I mean, Slug put an entire blaster that revolutionized the Nerf community out on Thingiverse. Somebody can make me a freaking switch.
You're right, dude. You're right. And I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think that there needs to be more stuff like that, and just throw it on Thingiverse, man. I mean, and then it'll probably get your name out there, and and you could probably start getting money for the next things you start designing too.
Yes, and we all like money.
Yeah, I enjoy money. And speaking of liking money, guys, I have Patreon. If you would feel free to donate in Patreon, you can go to the About section of my channel and you can click the link.
Oh, I feel used. I feel so used. I know. No. Oh, I feel so dirty. Dirty boy. I wish you had a button that had a Monty Python foot on your head right now. Just.
I was just watching them, dude. I was just watching just earlier. I was watching their spam sketch, man. It's like one of my favorite. Can I have it without the spam? Without the spam. That's one of the best.
It's so good.
All right, let's. What the hell did I just ask?
Underrated black.
Well, okay. What's the most overrated then?
Oh,
Strife.
Strife's topping the list. For its collector's value, I would say a crossbow. I had one. I've literally I'm an old man. I creak less than that thing does. It was, you buy a $200 blaster to throw out the internals, to buy $200 more parts to paint it, to have something that is not usable in most stuff that you're going to use anymore. because you'll get one shot and then you can't. It's NIC, and that's it. And most people aren't going to be able to use it for that. I honestly probably have to go with said just off the top though, like you said, completely Strife.
Yeah.
Or maybe Raven. I really don't like the Raven. It's I have nothing wrong with bullpups. I just something about that blaster I just can't stand. It's somewhere between fanboys and the actual blaster. Like there's got to be a way to make this thing better and not be a Raven, but then it turns into a Strife, and I don't really want to like I'm tired of Stripes.
Yeah. I've never owned a Raven, so I don't know.
I did. I think I gave it away to a friend of mine that needed it, and I think I traded it for some. I know I traded him for a Busby Dover for an over under because I needed one and something else, but I don't remember what exactly what it was entirely. It has been so long ago. I think Shade was the one that got his hands on it. I don't remember. I'll literally trade something away if I don't need it. I mean, it's not doing me any good. If somebody wants it, they can have it.
Because I love semi-automatic flywheels. I do. I love them. But when people ask me if the Strife is my favorite, I say no. You know, it's like my third favorite on the list. My first favorite, it's like my first and second faves are Desolator, Demolisher, or Demolisher, Desolator. I love those two. You know, I just love the aesthetics of them. I just really like those two blasters. I just don't know which I like more than the other, but I like both of those more than the Strife. You know, right off the bat, I just like the way they look. I like the way they feel. I love my Demolisher and Desolator.
Now, this being said, I do own a very nice Strife that was hopped up by Hooligan's crew. The thing just wrecks people. I love it. I mean, I admit they're fun to shoot, but I am very much a Springer guy. I like Springer. That's like right back to Captain Xavier with the Stampede when the Stampede was around and the Rapid Strike came out. I went to a war expecting to see a bunch of modded Rapid Strikes. And there was one, but there's nothing more satisfying than shooting a properly modded Stampede.
Yeah, like the Stampede is dope.
Actually launching the dart.
Hey, Aldos showed up. What's up, Aldos? You still there?
I'm still here. I'm just wondering about the awesome name of Aldos. Sounds really cool.
How did you like Ragnarok October Festival? I loved it. It was a lot of fun. You know, we had the mod party the Friday before it. That was a lot. I didn't, you know, I didn't expect a lot of people to show up, but a lot of people did. You know, Drac, Foam Blast showed up. Mr. Nathan was there. Bobo Lobo, Alex, MTB, Make Test Battle. Alex was there. Some others, Kelly Industries, Kelly was there. Yeah, a lot of people showed up to that. It was really fun.
Bobo Lobo is a giant.
What's that?
Bobo Lobo is a giant.
He's friggin' huge, dude. I didn't know how big that guy actually was, man. He towers over me.
I'll have to get the pictures of him standing next to him. It's funny as hell.
Dude, I'm 6 feet tall. I consider myself a pretty tall dude. He was friggin' way over me, man.
I'm 5'1", man. Like literally at one point he was like he leaned down to talk to me at FoamCon and started doing like the baby talk to me. He was like, "Oh, little Clownie," like that. And he just started laughing. He's like, "I want to apologize, but I'm going to keep doing it."
Oh man! Hopefully, I'll get to End War next year. I can see you guys next to each other in person.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So let me ask you this, man. What's your favorite company? Blaster company.
I like the off-brand guys, so-called stuff. They don't seem to like Nerf and Hasbro seem to kind of just. I know we play with kids stuff, and they're targeting kids' toys, but they don't seem to like. How much of the new stuff do you actually get excited for nowadays?
Yeah. I kind of came in at a time when they were bringing out like the Infamous, and because I came out, I just came into this year, so a lot of the there was a kind of a lot of new things that were just showing up, like a Prometheus was coming out, and now the Nail Biter. So there was a lot, and they were bringing back the Vortex line, and
I'm
so
so
I kind of
glad they
came in.
got the Numblayer out.
So I kind of came in when they were kind of changing things up a little bit more, but I could see before this year there was a lot of the same old happening.
These off companies seem to have the ability to explore more stuff, and I don't know if it's the freedom of they don't get the sales that they're like nerfing them get, or if they just decide to like pay more attention because let's face it, like far as a mod capabilities go, it's a lot easier to mod some of these like a wizard or a baron. It's a plunger tube and a catch mechanism and a spring. Okay, but you open up a Nerf blaster and the same thing. It's got some weird AR. It's got an overly complicated catch system on a ratchet. You can't put a better spring in it, and there's not much to do it. Now, granted, both are really fun to play with because like the original, like the Roto Fury before you open it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot. It's so complicated to mess with or do something with. And like that's why I'm kind of glad they came out with the nail biter because it's probably going to take so much crap like the Alien Menace one did about the Voidcaster about being performance lacking and stuff. It's something that's somewhat new. It's fun. It's something they haven't done for a while. And it's nice to see things that are kind of like a left hook from you get a right a southpaw. I just got done watching Rocky, so I'm trying to make that go in there. You, it's nice to see a left hook come out of somewhere, and you have no idea what the heck that was. It's like the turbo advance. All of a sudden, boom, that's here.
Yeah.
The Magnum Super Drum. Holy Jesus! I
Yeah.
mean that thing's amazing, and it's
Yep.
small and easy to handle, and it puts a lot of stuff to shame. And it's like a third of the price of anything else.
I know, dude. My very first flywheel blaster that I got was a Light Command, and that thing is freaking awesome for $20, dude. And it's like so unique, I think, with the chain fed lighting up and everything, and just it's so comfortable to hold. It is just an awesome blaster, and I didn't even do anything to it. I just throw in 3 IMRs, 3 dummy batteries, dude, and I'm hitting over 100.
Yeah, for the longest time, I used to rock Busby Ultimate Rapid Strikes. It's part of their Unity system when everybody just wanted the UMB, the Ultimate Missile Blast. It's a really big tank for those people who don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah.
Check out Nerf Haven UMB. It's like it was the go-to air tank for Nerf modding. Now that everything's electric, I guess nobody knows what an air tank is anymore outside of a Titan, but oh well. It's just the way it is. But that pistol in there was a flywheeler, which is funny because the Atomic 20s in that were catching so much guff because they were flywheels and Nerf was making springers, and then they switched down and went flip flop, and now Nerf makes flywheelers, and the springers from the other company are good, and their flywheelers are still good too, and they accept all the stuff like the Quantum, the rival off-brand thing. That thing's great.
Yeah.
It's like $20, and it's a beautiful blaster that will take overvolting without even changing the motors, because they must have realized that we're going to shove large batteries in there, or the Nerf battery, because they made it big enough to accommodate that too.
Hey, Recycle Dude is here. Thanks for showing up, Recycle Dude, and Homely665.
Recycle dude. I do recycle. Well, just my cans. Everything else gets.
Thanks for showing up, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm here with Uncle Clownie. We're sitting here talking about all things Nerf and off-brand.
Listening to me ramble incoherently.
Yeah, that's fine. Keeps me from doing the same. So what would you say? Like, would you say Dart Zone, Zuru, Buzzbee? Which one do you think you like the most?
Honestly, I think they're all owned by the same people.
You know what? I've been having a little. I've been wondering that myself. You know, like how does Adventure Force get all of this stuff? You know.
Yeah, well, like back in the day, if you turned over some of the things that you found at like Toys R Us, a lot of them were branded Leonard more than once. Like one of my personal favorite blasters, it looks beautiful when painted, and it has horrible performance. The Rotator 8. That thing is, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of garbage. Spencer, one of the things that got me into painting them was when Spencer Davis of Landgrave Customs painted up one of those in a steampunk fashion. And to this day, I still watch that video once a week just to look at it. So I'll know that the Rotator H that I purchased will never look that good.
So let's see here. Okay, now what about parts? Who's your favorite company for parts? Do you think? Who do you really prefer?
I really don't buy parts. I say that sitting next to a very large box of 3D printed parts from various people that I have yet to put up, from private people sending me stuff and other people sending me stuff. I tend to buy my stuff from Out of Darts because it's available. I bought stuff from Foam Blast as well because it's available. But by and large, I am not a big fan of 3D printed stuff. I don't like its durability. I don't like the fact that I have to be responsible enough to keep my blaster out of the sun in order to keep it from melting into a puddle. I learned I can't do that because I bought a narrow-based hammer shot holster when they came out. And about 2 weeks after I had it, I left it in the car. Now, mind you, that was like a $45 Nerf holster because I bought it on the Quick Start. And I used it once. It was beautiful. And I went to get it again, and it was a pancake. Because I left it. Yeah. I am not responsible enough.
I didn't know 3D printed parts couldn't take heat like that, dude.
If you leave them in the car, something like that, they will and can deform. I saw some blasters at wars before, like some Caliburns and that were starting to deform in the heat. They were becoming soft and losing their catch problems because they're hot. I don't have any problem with people 3D printing things and doing them. I think it's great that we can do this, but by and large, I am not the biggest fan of 3D printed stuff. That's why I like, and I have yet to buy any of this stuff. I think Biggs is one of them. They do casting. I like the casted parts because it's solid and it's not going to melt on me because it's more for someone like me that's not responsible enough to be able to maintain something and not take it out of the car the night before and forget about it for 3 days. I'm not going to turn a Caliburn into a pretzel because it melts around all the other blasters in my bag. Which would be very, very. I can't imagine doing if I did that to an FDL2 or an FDL3. I'd probably just run myself over with my car.
Yeah,
because
I would be devastated.
I would be devastated because I don't think that covers the warranty.
No. Hey, Big Zen Z, I want to give a shout out to them though. They hit me up on Instagram and they said they were going to send me some casted parts for the Chronos, which is awesome. So that's cool. Yeah, good people, man. That's awesome. Let's see, who else do we got? Oh, we got Cool Magic Form showed up in the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. He said, I just literally just left Aldos's stream. Yeah, I was there for a little bit earlier too, man. Aldo says always has some really good streams. I say anyone in the chat here who doesn't know Aldo should go check out his content. That's really
I'm
good.
going to have to because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he puts up a lot of good gameplay footage. He does close quarters combat inside of a warehouse. It's a gym for parkour. I just found that out. I thought it was a skate park, but it's like a parkour gym.
The guy with the cameras that are preset.
Yeah, he has like a few angles going on, man.
Yeah, I've seen those. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, hopefully I can get Aldos on one of my interviews as well, man. I'd love to have you on here too. So let me ask you this now. What are some of your favorite loadouts that you take to these events or wars?
Well, being the fact that there's a couple of things that go into this, stating the fact that I don't do loadouts.
Okay.
I started the hobby with a couple of years ago when there was no strifes. Doomsayers were still banned, and it was rainbow pistols and rainbow pump bows and things like that were the epitome of the top of technology. So a handful of darts, a pistol, and a primary blaster was pretty much what you used. To this day, I tried at the first End War to carry 3 or 4 blasters and ended up simply carrying 1.
Yeah.
My loadout literally includes 2 pouches I bought that will hold 12-round mags, stuffed full of darts, whatever blaster I'm using. Probably my Busby Pirate pistol on my side because it doesn't perform well, but I'll be damned if it's not fun to use. Mm-hmm. A handful of darts for that and a pair of suspenders because I keep my pants up. That's pretty much the end of my loadout. I don't get into them. I'd love to have something like as cool as Captain Xavier and run around there like that, but they don't make Nerf vests in my size. I can probably cut the belly portion out and put it across me like a bra, but I really like my friends are my friends, which make them ruthless, horrible individuals. And if one of my friends walked out wearing a Nerf bra, I think I'd probably have the same reaction.
I had a NF Strike sent me a belt, a tactical belt, that you can store mags in and everything. They wanted me to review that. So I get it in the mail. I'm so stoked. Yeah, I got this cool belt. I take it out and I go to put it on and it barely latches, I Velcro it and it'll snap right off. Oh gosh.
Like I said, I used one for a bandolier because I went to put it on. It wasn't even going halfway around. And I'm like, I don't know what child's supposed to be using this thing, but Drax immediately I got more space than I need. And I'm like, I hate you.
Oh, that's a shot to the self-esteem. Yeah, I literally had to have some of my skinnier friends, test out the belt for me and let me know how it went.
I don't have any skinnier friends that are going to be able to help me with this.
I don't take loadouts either, man. Like on, I do the BTA, the competitive BTA stuff, and that, you're crazy if you bring like a bunch of stuff with you because you're running around ducking. And at Ragnarok Oktoberfest, I went on the Stalking Dead. I had a Demolisher, and I brought a Kronos with me, but after about an hour, I ended up dropping the Kronos and just taking the Demolisher just as is, and have them. I used my cargo pockets for the mags, and I have a dump pouch, and that's it for me, dude. That's all I carry with me.
It becomes a lot to bang around. Like sometimes I don't even like the pouches because even though I'm running a turbo advance, it's just problematic to have that giant saddlebag banging off my butt the entire time when I'm going around. And that's And then, like, for me, I get about halfway up the field, and then I got to turn around and go back because I'm a very large, slow target. So I use things like intimidation factors, like with like you point at somebody, they hide. So, and I know that most people can't see straight, so I'll literally walk up wearing my mask with my hair sticking out and just death march on you and force you backwards. It usually ends with me getting to walk back to the spawn point out of ammunition, but I'm laughing the entire time.
I actually have the dump pouch. It's like on my hip. So I don't know. I'd be afraid if I had it on my butt, dude. I'd figure I'd be dropping darts everywhere, you know, when I'm trying to run around.
Well, to be fair, I don't get to reload a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, I don't I don't reload a whole lot either.
There's a reason most of my blasters are signaled and outreach everybody else's.
So how's your local community, man? Like how big is your local community that you go to these wars with?
Miserable. As to recently, I'm essentially in central Pennsylvania. We now have Philadelphia Nerf Wars and Blair County Nerf. We also have Altoona Nerf Club and oh god, Josh is gonna kill me. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Josh. I don't remember what the other Nerf club is up here. I tried many times to try to start in the center of Pennsylvania here, to try to get something going, but the scene dies. I think it's because of Harrisburg just being a pit of death to anything at all. So I've driven as far as, well, End War. I went down to West Virginia to camp in Nerf, which was absolutely amazing with the toy soldiers. Camping for 3 days, nerfing for 3 days, and events, sword fighting and stuff at the campsite, wearing tinfoil hats and looking at their 12:30 at night. We're all wearing tinfoil hats and having a good time, and turn around and here's this park ranger just staring at us like, what the heck? And the other guy comes walking up behind because he knows we've been there before. I don't mean like regular, I mean like top hats, bowlers, tinfoil feathers. I mean, you got to do it proper. Monocles, the works, you know.
Oh wow, yeah, really like, fancy.
He's just staring at us like he's waiting for the Martians to land. But the scene is pretty good as long as you're willing to drive like an hour or two, pretty much in any direction. I'm trying to change that. Hopefully this winter by trying to unite the 4 or 5 clubs that are around to set up what I'm going to call what my buddy Beaker named Panic, PANIC, which just sounds good. So everybody has their own. Everybody still runs their own club, but we have a set schedule across Pennsylvania, so you don't have to choose. Because like, I went down to Blair County to try them, but at the same time, Altoona was running a war, and these guys were running a war, and the guys in Maryland were running a war at the same time. I'd like to see if I can get some unity out of this, or just start my own club and fight with everybody else. But I don't want to do that because I want to make sure everybody can attend every war together. And if we do that, we can actually start getting things like running, like the BTA and things like that, because we can set up a schedule and then run stuff and maybe get people from other areas, which is predominantly Jersey, lower New York right now for us, in Connecticut, because we have the guys from Nemo, which is old school guys like Van and DX, and the Nerf Haven guys help come down from that, which is pretty much the guys that make up APOC every year.
Cool, man. Yeah. I think if you guys get some unity out there, that would be awesome, bro. I think that would be really, really, really good. Maybe find
it would be nice to do the Nerf on the weekends instead of having the pop-up wars, which seem to come up too quick.
Yeah, that would be an awesome thing, man. I look forward to seeing if you get, I look forward to seeing you guys get something started.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. What are your thoughts on the state of the community right now, like the state of the whole Nerf blaster modding community?
I have been thinking of this question all week, honestly.
I ask everybody.
I know. Uh, if I'm going to try to politic my way around this answer the best I can, and still answer this question. Not as good as like Barack Obama interview, which was beautiful, by the way, for his president's first interview with the presidency. Yeah, watch that. That's an amazing video. He like never really answered the question.
Obama's always great with his words, though, dude. He is such a smooth operator, man.
He was. So if you watch Griever's first episode when I started nerfing, he promoted my channel and said he's like, you should watch Clownie's channel, my buddy Clownie, but he's a little harder on reviews and stuff than I am on blasters and things like that, which it tends to be really true. I'm like, I don't look at something and see. I'm looking at something and always seeing where it's broken. My ultimate job I always wanted was a QE inspector for Walmart. I wanted to be the guy that walked in the building and everyone's like, oh, look, it's all perfect. It's perfect. And I can look down and I go, there's a crack in the floor. Oh, no, that's wrong. This is 2 millimeters to the left. I've always been the guy that looks at something and tells you exactly where it's going to break.
Yeah.
Every single time. My dad was an engineer before he retired, and that's my brother and my sister are the same way. We have this doomsaying capability about it, and I really hate to use that, but I use the term negative realist. Pessimists are no fun. They're miserable people. Same thing with morning people. I want to drink my coffee, and I don't want your 400-mile-an-hour butt in my face before I've drank my coffee, or you're gonna be. Man. I need you to go away from me for a couple of minutes. Morning people are inhuman. So
yeah, you're right, dude.
I've always been the guy that looks at something that's been busted, and for me, a lot of the crap the community throws out sticks all the time in my mind. Watching people beat people down over simple questions and be, well, frank, just dicks and rude and just go at them. And certain Nerf pages doing the same thing where they run a double standard where they say they don't do that, but that's all that they do. I have a huge issue with that. I think by large, the good people get buried under the crap, because when the dog craps on the lawn, he doesn't bury it. It's on the lawn. You can see that. And the longer it sits there, the longer it's easier to see, which I'm actually going to use this analogy. The turd becomes easier because the turd gets white and it just sits there and festers and you can see it more. And that keeps drawing your attention to it. And every day it compiles and compiles. And I think it forces people in the community down. It makes people not ask questions because people just accept it as a fact that you're going to get crapped on. I think we need to change that.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to crap on kids. You see some kid asking what's Blaster's best, you got a smart comment, keep it to yourself and scroll away. Okay? Nobody gives a crap about your smart comment about, oh, it's best. Well, it depends. It's just a subject on that. No, we don't care. We don't care. All right? You're a smart ass. We don't care. And that's the reason when I look at like the Nerf pages, I just look for pictures now, because I get mad when I see some kid getting slammed on because he just bought a blaster and he's trying to figure out how to mod it, and they didn't have the access to the technology, and the knowledge today is readily available, but nobody's looking it up. In my day, you had to look it all up on the internet. Now it's all right there. You can literally go. I'm going to say in their people's defenses, get on YouTube, type it in, find it yourself. All right.
Yeah.
If you're that lost, you can't find it. Ask the question. Ask somebody, and just be prepared for the onslaught that's coming. And please don't get discouraged Just ignore those people. Block them. You're avid with Facebook nowadays. Children, block them. Put them up and block them. You'll never have to see their idiotic, short-sighted comments again on no matter what phase you are. Just make sure it's not a moderator, because you probably won't be back on the site again if you do block a moderator. Yeah. It's just the way it goes. By large, I think the community is in a good place, but I think it's been buried by too much garbage that's just festering on top of it, making everything look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like I said, negative realist. I'm the guy that I'm the guy that's literally not. I don't say I told you so. I smile and light a cigar, and then lean into the blast.
You're right, man. You're absolutely right. I could totally see that. There's I follow a lot of the groups and everything, and someone will ask, hey, I saw this in the thrift store. What do I do with it? And then like some of the comments will be like, throw it in the garbage. What's wrong with you? Or something like that. And then I can see like how that could be like a joke, but some people could take that, take these negative comments and be like, dude, why are these guys being dicks to me? I'm just trying to ask questions, and these guys are biting my head off. Because the thing is,
sorry,
I was gonna say, you don't know how someone's gonna perceive your comment online. You could be being sarcastic, you could be saying it in a joking manner, but all they do, they're gonna read it the way they read it. They could read it like you're yelling at them. So you have to be careful the way you make these comments is because you could be coming off like a total ass, and you may not mean it, but you just or maybe you do mean it. But yeah, you're right. There are some shitty comments that do come out of these groups where people are just asking genuine questions, trying to get help.
Help the kid. Help the kid. If you have anything constructive to add, shut your mouth. I mean, it doesn't matter. Remember, writing stuff is flat. People are going to read it how they want to. That's why people get so upset when they read a book and they see a character come to life. They're like, oh, I didn't picture that guy playing that role. Well, who cares? Somebody else might have.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Right, man. You're damn right. Hey, welcome, Slater. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Slater, you're my favorite character. One of my favorite characters out of Archer.
Hey, John Brooks. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming in. Remember to smash the like the smash. So let me ask you this, man. Do you see our hobby going mainstream, like the way they're bringing the NBL, National Blaster League, trying to push that kind of like I call that the WWE of competitive, blaster stuff.
I haven't watched any of that. I'm kind of, I haven't developed a solid opinion on it yet. I mean, I saw the Ragnarok Oktoberfest January thing with the Blaster League broadcast with Draken, not Adriana, what's her name? Dang it, I forget who it was. I saw their thing on that, and they go in the mainstream and things. I'm kind of right now split on it. As much as I would really like to see, like Nerf mainstream on TV, like Paintball League and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also at the same time an old head at this, and like the commercialization of this kind of irritates me more than it really probably should, because I don't want. I like the ready accessible. I like all this stuff, but at the same time, I have problems with the commercialization of it and it becoming so. I don't quite know how to describe it. There's just something that it sets me. It's offsetting to me about the whole leagues and getting stuff out there like that. I think it's just because like I said, I'm a very old head at this. And when it comes down to the two formats of modern nerfing versus NIC, I really prefer the old school NIC stuff versus flywheelers and 3D printing stuff and all that. I like to get into it and rip things apart and remake them and make custom parts and fix things together. And part of me thinks some of that's going to be lost if like professional companies start making professional blasters for professional combat.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fun of that might go away because I did a little airsoft and it was fun until I got into milsim guys, and then it wasn't fun anymore. I did some paintball with friends and I got into some paintball guys, and then it wasn't fun anymore. And the same thing with Magic the Gathering, and then it wasn't fun anymore. Like I don't want the fun to go away because somebody wants to make $1 off of his Vince McMahon wants to come in and put it up on Monday night and make money off of this.
Yeah, that's like when ECW got bought by WWE, and then Vince McMahon started. He made ECW again, and it wasn't
the same.
It was not the same. You want to keep punk rock in the clubs, dude. You don't want to make it on. You don't want to put on MTV and have and then lose the soul of it, right?
Yeah, I just want it to. I don't necessarily want it to stay the same, but I don't want to lose what we've had. And in my circle of friends and stuff, they'll tell you, I actually like one of my biggest pet peeves right now is literally the commercialization of this, where you can go out and like it's a double-edged sword because we used to talk about just buying parts and buying blasters. Well, now we have them, and everybody's kind of trying to get their piece, and the market's flooded.
Mm-hmm.
All the this is why Clownie doesn't get stuff sent to him. Because it's like, how many different flywheel cages do we need? You can only variant the numbers so much versus the number, and the same thing with the wheels. I mean, okay, you have envelopment wheels now and envelopment flywheel cages like the Eclipse. And there's other ones out there on the market that do the same kind of thing. And they're literally within millimeters of each other, and the wheels are in the same weights with each other. The only thing they haven't done yet is serrate them or knurl them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all kind of the same thing. Like the easiest way I can put it is, how many Strife battery doors do we have to have on the market?
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. And
it's a battery door. It's a piece of plastic. I got plastic sitting next to me. I can put it on there. Yes, I'd like something very neat, but by large, it's still a jagged piece of plastic that's made to fit over and cut. And in the long run, everybody has their own one, and I can't tell them apart anymore. Who has what and which is which?
Aldous
look at the cover.
Aldous just said something really good. He said, "Becoming mainstream is different from maturing. I think we all want to see the hobby mature, not become mainstream. Mainstream has a tendency to sweep away what made the hobby special in the first place."
I don't think I could put that better myself, Aldous. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's about what I was trying to get at right there.
Yeah, very good, man. Very, very good. Well said. I like where you both were coming from right there. That makes a lot of sense. You want to see this. You want to see more people get into this. You want to see this grow. Have everybody be able to go to an event or have like some war or have some competition near them to be able to do. But then again, you see like people like putting up twin toys on these, having them represent competitive blaster sports.
I haven't actually seen any of them stuff yet. Like, I still have yet to check them out on things. I keep hearing that name and I hear something awful attached to it, which makes me not check it out. Like,
that's why I used it as an example.
Yeah. Like, the old famous gun versus gun, and the production guy. I'm not gonna. I don't want to sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and smash anybody.
No, yeah, of course not.
They do, but like at the same it's a fine line between my opinion and not pissing somebody else off. I hate like my number one pet peeve of all times is the politics of this hobby.
True.
And I really like I'll admit flat out, there are two people that come to my mind that I cannot stomach in this community. And no, it's not Drac. So get that out of your damn head. The guys helped me out with my channel.
I didn't think it was Drac, honestly.
No. Well, some people are going to immediately think that when my channel was first started.
After meeting him, I was such a cool dude, you know.
He's a cool dude. When my channel first started, I was getting a lot of, I had some people that were putting in some really heart-wrenching comments, and the only thing I could think to do was I contracted Drac because I figured Big Dog has to deal with this before. He offered the answer I thought that he was going to give me, and then he told me what to do. So I owe him for that, because, you know, you get, as a Nerf YouTuber, people, they get to know you as a Nerf YouTuber, and then they like you get people that send in, well, literally just heart-wrenching stories, and you don't know what to do with them. And I didn't have any idea how to do with this because I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I needed help. So I asked him, and he helped me out quite a bit with that, which was completely ranting off topic of what I was originally going to say, but that's what it was. Stay away from the politics.
I agree, man. I agree. I can see a lot of the politics already happening, you know, like just being in this a short time, but I talk to a lot of people, I met a lot of people, I network a lot, and I can already see a lot of the politics happening, and you shouldn't deal with this person, you shouldn't deal with that person, stay away from them, stay away from this, stay away from that. It's like, dude, I'm just friends with everybody, you know?
I've already been at places where I've had to bend to politics already because of I've been in close quarters with people I didn't much care for, and you have to, like, literally of swallowing your pride in order to do this sometimes sucks, but it's easier. I've always said, like, when I used to work at Walmart, it was easier for me to hate you than for us to hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I hate you, I only get irritated when I see you. You don't know it. Yeah. But if we hate each other, we're going to run into each other all the time because that's the way fate works. And it's never going to end well. So just if you don't like somebody in this, or you can't stand what it is, just don't pay attention to them. Just get over it, choke it down, whatever, and just smile and be nice. Because you might, in the long run, you'll find some common ground. I mean, there used to be a long list of people that I didn't care for. Now it's only down to 2. Because I found common ground and found out that I was in the wrong. I was just being a dick. And that it was my problem, or I misunderstood something they did. So it all comes back to, in the long run, like Chalo says, we're playing with toys.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
We're just playing with toys.
Well said, man. And here, this will be the last question before we end the stream. We've been on here for about an hour and a half now. Had some really good conversation. So let's see, what's the future for Clownie? What's the future for your channel and any future mods?
Well, I would very much like to grow it to, like, actually, because my sub thing says 2,000 people, and honestly, guys like you and particularly Chalo, who didn't have a single video up, and all of a sudden 47,000 subscribers, which like I don't know whether to bow at his feet or like get a step ladder and choke him, because it's like, it's not right, and it's not fair. I've been doing this long, and at the same time, I can hear my buddy Grieber right now going, "You idiot! I still have 600 people. Like, I've been doing this longer than you."
So, Everybody in the chat, everyone listening, please go to Clownie's channel before he goes and chokes people.
I'd really like to get myself up into a higher subscriber count and just put better stuff into the channel and learn how to use some of the neat editing programs and stuff. As far as mods go, and that, mind you, as long as it's fun, because the day I disappear from this, it won't be fun anymore. When I stop having fun, there's not going to be a video that says Clownie's not having fun. It's just going to be Clownie's gone because it stopped being fun. As long as it's fun, you're going to keep seeing me go on with this stuff. As far as mods go, I'm working on whatever the live stream thing I've been doing, which is fun and keeping me sane from my job. I got a couple of things in the works, but I don't like to talk about them because I'm panicky that somebody might steal them, steal the mods. I think enough people actually watch my channel to do so. But I had one person claim my work in the past, and it made me panicky. So I don't like to work on the whole thing with me working on the one right now is a big deal because I don't normally reveal anything that I'm working on until I'm done.
That's pretty smart, though. I can understand that, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to it, man. All right.
How about you? What are you planning to do?
I want to learn how to paint. I want to learn how to do some integrations, man. Basically, yeah, that's the two main things I really want to learn. Because I've already done brassing. I've done brassing. I've done brassing a few blasters. I've done a lot of rewiring on the flywheel stuff. I haven't learned to paint yet or do any integrations. Those are, and I find those so fascinating. I think it's so awesome taking 2, 3, 4 different things and making one really bitchin' thing out of it. That's why I really appreciate you and Nathan's. You guys do such creative things. You could get a few different blasters at a thrift store and say, okay, these lines will match up to this, and I'll put this here and that, and you guys just create something amazing, out of it. That's what I really want to learn to do.
Just glue it together. That's my advice I give to every kid when they're like, I don't know. I'm like, just break your toys. I'm like, how old are you? I'm like, they're like, I'm 10. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, your parents bought it for you, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just break it. Buy another one. We'll buy you another one. Just go break it. Break it into pieces. Glue it together. They'll get you another one.
Yeah. I just want it to. I want it to look good though, too. You know what I mean? I want it to look good. I want it. Well, it always looks good when you guys do it, man.
You don't okay, that's a reverse waterfall because I'm looking at Mr. Nation's stuff oh my god, this stuff is good, and I'm trying to get his stuff at his level, but at the same time he really likes the sledgehammer thing, the sledge-fire thing that I made, but I don't know why because I look at his and it's seamless, and the oh god, I forget his name, John Williams, who I think it's John Williams. Oh god, he's gonna shoot me. He has no Nerf views or anything at all, and he has the most amazing integration of a Maverick I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, wow.
The handle is from one of those stupid squirt guns, and it's seamless. And he put it together in a way that I would have never thought. And it functions great. It's got LED. It's got lasers and stuff in it. Just literally, just hack. It doesn't have to look good. It doesn't have to function well. Just take it, chop it up, glue it together. If it fails, okay, glue more stuff to it. Keep putting stuff on until either you can't lift it or it works well. One of the two.
Sounds
good.
If
you have to, start with the epic long shot. Where you put a Maverick under a long shot. Whereas Kokori said they're either epic nor long, but that's we didn't have the breaches systems back then that we did today, so neither of the blasters shot very well.
man, I came in at the wrong time.
My advice to young modders: break your toys. Don't be afraid to get in there and hack them up. Worst case scenario, your parents have to buy you a new one, or you have to go out and you spend a couple of weeks in in room jail, or you have to mow some more lawns to make up to get another one.
Yeah.
Things thrift. Don't be afraid to find out to put your stuff together. And when somebody says, "Oh, that looks like crap," wait till you find them in a Nerf war and then tag them with it, because I guarantee you, Brett takes joy in tagging everybody with a stupid car blaster. Because if it was me, I'd be laughing my butt off every time I shot somebody with that car blaster. Because that means I managed to sneak up slow behind you and hit you with something I could probably throw the blaster further than the actual thing shoots. So
nice, bro. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for the advice. Thanks for being on my program here. I really do appreciate you taking the time and letting me ask you a bunch of silly questions. And yeah, man, I hope all the people watching appreciated it and enjoyed it. Clownie is a really great dude. He does a lot of good work in this hobby, and you really should check out his channel if you haven't been to it before. You should take a look at it. Take a look at some of the things he's done. It's some pretty incredible work. So thank you again, Uncle Clownie. I really appreciate it. Anything else you would like to say?
Gee, for once I have to shut up. Hey, I'm going to give you an opportunity to run your mouth. Do you have anything you want to say? No.
Any shameless self-promotion? Anything?
Actually, yeah, you want to say that. Anybody is aware, may or may not watch a channel, or watch a channel, preferably is probably how you know it. I do a Christmas toy drive every year. This year I will be launching it, hopefully early enough in the first week in November. There will be some of the problems I've had over the years with people getting into it and stuff like that to get things out. They're going to fix. So hopefully that works out better this year. Just keep an eye out for that. It's literally, you donate a toy, you get a chance to win a blaster. I'm not in it for subs. I'm not in it for anything else. I'm in it simply to hand toys over to kids. So the first week in November, look for that, because hopefully I'll be able to have everybody that I can in the community spam a message about this, because I'm just going to send out community-wide to anybody to help and share to get this out there. And if everything goes right, you'll be able to win yourself one of the new 2018 blasters that came out this year. And it's not going to be a cheap one, because there's no fun in me giving away something that I can afford and have myself. So last year I gave out
Awesome, man.
Well, the last year I gave out not a Prometheus, the predecessor to the Prometheus. The
Nemesis.
Yeah, I gave out a Nemesis last year. I think the year before that, I think it was I don't remember. I gave out last year. I can't remember, a year back. But I've had last year it was 200 and some easy donations. I think maybe it was 5 or something like that, and I had a lot of people put in for this. So there's going to be smaller prizes and one big prize this year, but I'm not going to name it yet because spoilers. Just
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome what you're doing. I heard about the toy drives that you've done. So yeah, I thank you for seeing that here, and I'll definitely keep everyone up on that as well, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right on, man. Well, thank you very much, Clownie. I appreciate it. All right. And we'll talk to you later. All right, my man?
I'll be around. I don't plan
on
going anywhere yet.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Later, brother.
Thank you. And everybody who is in here still, remember to check out Uncle Clownie. Clownie Nerf is his channel. I put it in the description of this video. It's in the channel description, or the video description right now. So go ahead and do that if you would like to check out his stuff, or click it, or save it, copy it, whatever you do, and check it out at a later time if you would like. He's a really good dude. He does a lot of good things for this hobby and this community. So I would appreciate it if you guys would check him out and give him some support as well. And remember to support everybody in the chat as well as that. We're all trying to grow. We all want to grow. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for coming out and checking out this interview series. I'm really happy with the way it's been going. I've been getting a lot of people offering to be on this. So that's really cool. You know, there's a lot of people I respect in this community that I really like, and I never imagined that they would want to come on here and, you know, talk to me, have me talk to them. So that's really good stuff that they're coming out here and helping me out with my channel, and hopefully I can help them out with theirs as well, because I'm all about the support. So yeah, man. So thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Aldos, thanks. Slater, thank you so much for coming by. Tisha, I love you. Thank you so much. Austin, Neva, thank you. Linda, I say Lydia. I'm so sorry. Linda's House of Chill. Thank you. Homely, thank you. Boom Friendo, thank you. Let's see who else has come in here. Austin. Let me see. Patricia Sprinkles. Thank you so much. And everybody. Cool Magic Forum. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John Brooks. Thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough for all the support that you guys have given me on YouTube. In this community, my local community, it's just been overwhelming and awesome. If you guys want to help me out continuing my channel, I do have Patreon. You can get up to 3 shout outs in my videos a month, or you know, you could get up to one of them a month, and links in the descriptions as well if you would like. That's in the about section of my page. If you would like to help and you don't have Patreon, you could go to PayPal, which is also in the about section of my page. I really want to continue improving my channel, and my patrons and the people who support me have helped me get things like a microphone for this interview series, and different, you know, like a new camera for this. So, and if you guys want to help support me and you can't do it monetarily, just share my videos, like my videos, and comment on my videos, and you know, all that. I appreciate it. So that's about it. Thank you so much, everybody, again, and hopefully we'll be doing this again in a few days. Later.